Alrighty guys, hopefully things are good. Let me sit down here in a little stool. Bunch of crap underneath here. Well, what do we got here? We've got the efco 152 Grudge Match builds here. This one right here is built by Tanton Rosencrans. He goes by AFU saws or AFU chainsaws. There's a sticker on the top of his rig. I've got Wolf Creek Saw Shop and a Caber sticker, and my sticker on the side of mine. This was interesting, fun, and Tanton kind of switched it up on there, which it doesn't matter to me. He had a little secret that I didn't know about, and he wouldn't tell me, and Joe played right along with it too. When I showed up there, Joe's today to pull these. This was already there. Tanton had shipped it, and Joe had this under a bag and was joking around with me that I couldn't see the top secretness that Tanton didn't tell me about. Both of us, this was a friendly grudge match. Both of us talked back and forth quite a bit. I pretty much shared everything on my build with him. I'm assuming the top secret thing, I don't know about what went on the inside. I'm assuming was his really fancy coffee can style, super duper free flowing air filter. Mine's pretty free flowing too. It's just like what you get for a motorcycle, and I pulled the inner spring and element out of it, and then it had an outer element that I ditched to. I didn't need this thing being this big around. But Tanton had set in place, and Joe stuck by the rules very, very, very strictly. I think Tanton tuned his when it was cold weather as well, because mine went to the dyno as you've seen it in the test cuts. I didn't touch the carburetor at all. Since then, I took it. It was 13 degrees, I think, when I made you guys them videos of test cutting, and that's what I tuned it to. I was under the assumption that I was going to be able to tune it on the dyno, and the rules that were put into play was Tanton couldn't be there to tune his saw. So once I showed up at Joe's, I wasn't able to tune mine. I did not know that. Otherwise, I probably would have threw a bar and chain on this and tuned it, because it was like probably 43, 45 degrees. So I suspect both our tunes were rich. They were four-stroking on the dyno, but oh well, rules is rules. It didn't matter. This was a lot of fun. Tanton's one hell of a saw builder. He's pretty well known for, I think this is what he calls the Mutt 3.0. They're always, his builds seem to be always multicolored. I know I ran his yellow, the more yellow one. I think that was Mutt 1. And let me tell you, Mutt 1's a runner. That thing pulls chain like crazy. So on our grudge matches, we were both after that 6-horse number. Both of us wanted that claim to hitting 6-horse on the dyno. Well, I'll tell you right now, both of us failed at that. We did not achieve it. I was after 3 things on my build. The number one thing I wanted to do was definitely not backslide. I don't exactly know how many of these Tanton has built, but it's way more than I have. This is my second one that I've ever built. The first one I built put up, I think it was 5.01 horse, and I was able to edge him out the first go around, and then later he built another one, and it edged out mine. And then when this one popped up on Marketplace, I bought it, and and said, "Ha, Grudge Match 2 is on," or whatever, and then he built this. I think he built this all from a pile of parts out of his parts pile for these things, and I was lucky enough to find a complete saw in pretty decent shape, other than the hackery that I did to it. And yes, my kill switch was still free flopping around in there. You know, so be it. I didn't care. We were able to shut it off. But so I wanted to beat my old build. I wanted to make 6 horse, and I also wanted to beat Tanton. And I think probably goes the same for Tanton. I think he wanted to break 6 horse, beat me, and smoke his 2 previous iterations of this. And yeah, let me tell you, he put up one hell of a fight. But I didn't take it laying down. I beat him, not by much at all. I don't have dyno sheets. Joe's printer thing was out of ink, and the only way you could have printed them off is if all the rungs were the same color, and it'd be real hard to distinguish that. And so I've got a picture on my phone, and each one of these saws got 7 pulls, and Joe averaged the best 3 runs of the 7 pulls, and then averaged them together, and that was our results. And Tanton's saw, I got it wrote down here, but I have a picture. I'll put it in. I'll probably use it for the thumbnail of this video. But Tanton's made 2.89 foot-pounds of torque and 5.52 horsepower, and that's the average of the best 3 runs. This one here made 3.07 foot-pounds of torque and 5.72 horse. So I was like a quarter horse shy from hitting my 6 horse mark. Could have gotten a little more out of it if I tuned it, possibly, but it's hard to say. I would say both saws were fat, in my opinion. I think Tanton's was idling a little higher than what mine was, but mine was idling pretty low. But it wasn't low enough where, I mean, it stayed running on the dyno. We didn't have to restart it or nothing. It's not like it loaded up and died on us or anything. So I did win, but just by a scooch. I think if you did the percentages on that, I probably inched them out by 3% on power, and probably, I don't know, 6% or so on torque. I think maybe vice versa, something like that. I don't know. I didn't punch it into a calculator and figure it out, but so I did win. I'd like to say thank you for Tanton for sending his saw and participating in the shootout. I'd like to thank Joe. I think he's tired of pulling efcos, let's put it that way. He's pulled quite a few of them. He's done quite a few pulls of mine, so I was debating on, knowing, you know, that this is my second attempt, I was debating on going in here. I'll just tell you what I'm thinking. I'm thinking if I cut 20 more out of the chamber, drop the base, remove my numbers back to where they are now, except for to have just a scooch more, because it's sitting at like 78 on the intake. I don't know where Tanton's is sitting, but I think if I was to do 20 out of the band, reset my squish, and bump my timing up just a little bit on the intake, and put the transfers and everything right back to where they are, I think the saw would get 6 horse. Am I going to tear back into it? I don't know. I don't have a lot of time. I might just hang this thing on the shelf and let it sit there, and yeah. So, but I mean, all in all, they're close, guys. It was, we're talking, probably if you were to cut with them, you probably wouldn't even notice it. We got slightly different muffler mods. So, yeah. little different air filter styles. He built his like velocity stack. I built mine. Trying to think what else is there. He didn't ship his with a side cover, so I don't know. If the weather gets better, we might throw bars and chains on these and play with them later. I don't know. I have a lot going on. I most definitely got to get my 400 off the workbench. But I know you guys have been waiting for the results. Give Tanton a big hand. He built one hell of a saw there. You know, 5.5 horse is nothing to sneeze at for what these things are. I worked my ass off, excuse the language, to get 5.7 too. So, but I needed data. I needed to see where this thing would land at to correct, you know, like if I was to do this, build another one of these, I would slightly tweak it a little bit and try to get a little more. But that's me. I'm always searching for more. Let's set these over. Well, let me get these over here. I'll set these over here. Get them out of the way. And I had another saw pulled, and I went and picked up another saw that was there as well. My fire is starting to take off really good. Right here. While I've got the video going. This is a 501 with Alex A2D designs. That put up 6.14 horse. It is for sale. It's pretty decent shape. It does have like a scuff here. It's a little grubby, but it's got. This is the only muffler mod I've ever done on this style right here like that. So that's a one-off custom little build. That is for sale. This is the 261, the mile ported one that I did a work saw build out of that you guys saw the build video on. I recall it's like 1065, 107, something like that on the roof. It put like a horse. I don't have a chart on it. But if you want to know what this thing put up like, I just go over to Hay Shaft and Sawdust video, and he's got Dyno Joe's chart, and he's got his pull. Both dynos pull, you know, very similar. This saw is for sale as well. It's just a good work saw build. I think if I recall, it's something like 26% faster than a stock one. Than what this one was stock. I don't know about every stock one, but I didn't go crazy on it. It should be a long-lasting build. I suspect if I was to change the durations up in this, it would get more power, but I tried to build this because we weren't sure how hot of a saw that we could run on Mark's dyno, and I was just after data, and then I'm like, well, I'm going to be selling the saw afterwards anyway, so I didn't care. I wasn't trying to stretch it to the moon like my other one. I got another one sitting in this basket, actually right down here. When this one sells, I'm taking the money from this and I'm buying the parts to build this one, and this one will go a little. I'm going to try to beat my other one with this one down here, because I got to split it all apart and do a bunch of work, so we're probably going to trench cases and do all kinds of stuff with this one. Whereas this one could be daily firewood, daily tree serviced with, or just a fun zipped up saw that cuts a lot better than the stock one. There's videos of me test cutting with it after I ported it. There's videos on my channel before I built it. And then there's also test and compare on Mark's channel, cutting with it. And I believe Mark was running this with a 20-inch 3/8 full comp chain too on his wood. But this is for sale. Power head only. I'll do a good deal because I need to move it quick to get the parts for this. I'll do $500 on this. I was trying to sell the thing for $450 stock, and I didn't have very many bites on it. But 500 ported is a sweet deal. You know, typically when I do a port job, if I'm charging somebody or whatever, it would be between $300 and $350. So somebody's getting a sweet deal. Is it my absolute trying to squeak the most power out of one? Absolutely not. This is just a work saw build. This I wanted to on that. I think it's in the cylinder and port work on this is in the video that's called "It's Better to Port for Flow Than Numbers," and I talked about my theories in there. I applied them theories before ever even trying that in this saw, and proved my theories to work out right according to the dyno and the test cuts. That's what that saw is. $500 plus shipping, power head only. This saw, quite a bit more sportier. I said before I had it pulled I'd take 7 for it. I would still take 7 for it. And I think I got a barn chain that can go with that one. I don't care if I sell this one or not. This one has to go because I need the money to put into the other mate that looks just like that one. This one I really don't care if I sell it or not. It's a hoot to cut with. It's fun. It's spicy. It's zipped up. It still should be a really long lasting, good, super sporty firewood saw. Same thing. It's not like my absolute, I've pushed them things as far as 7 horse and certain trims. 7.4 is my highest horse I've ever gotten out of one of them, but those are like personal one-off builds. This is a good solid 6.1 horse, or 6.14 is what it put up, so you might as well say 6.1 horse. It's a 6 horse saw all day long. I want 700 for it. It doesn't have squat for runtime on it. And everybody always wonders why when I say they don't have squat for runtime. I don't know, I think I've counted them out before, but I have a bunch of that style saw. I can't run them all, or at least all at the same time. So my 501s and 4910s are very limited runtime. I play with them a little bit. Most of the time they get hung up and they just sit. I want to put one, I can get back out to cutting wood. I want to put a bunch of time on the green one. For one, to see how well the powder coat holds up, and two, just to see how long, how long that 7 horse build will hold up and last, basically. So these two are for sale. So I don't know. Hopefully you guys like this. If you like me sitting in front of the camera and jibber jabbering, let me know. If you're looking to purchase these, I don't do PayPal. You have to send me a check or a money order, and you can either get a hold of me on Facebook Messenger or my email, chbriscoe@gmail.com. These two are on the chopping block. Possibly maybe trade on this one. This one I'm gonna want money for. Actually waiting to hear back. I might actually have this one traded off for a gun if the guy wants it. Waiting to hear back. He's on the road right now. But I have to call this video here pretty quick because the stove is just a roaring. I don't know where my temp gauge went, but yeah, I gotta shut that. Let me shut that damper down. Can't hardly get close to the stove. She's a roaring. Now you'll hear it tinking. I don't know where I don't know what I did with my temperature gauge. I just found it the other day and now I lost it again. But yeah, so get you guys a little bit closer so you can see a close up of them two. Those two are in the chopping block. So chbriscoe@gmail.com or Facebook Messenger. So you guys take it easy, have a good one, let me know what you think.